Thank you, sir. And I thank NIB also for giving us this platform to present our work. So can we have my slide? So I'm Dr. Gaurav, working as a Principal Scientific Officer in IPC. Next one. So just like NIB, IPC is also an autonomous institute under the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare. And this IPC was established in the year 2009. And this year we have completed 14 years of our existence. So there are basically three bodies which are guiding us. First one is the general body, and next one is governing body. These are basically policy making bodies, and chairman of these bodies is Secretary Health and Family Welfare. Our scientific work is reviewed by the scientific body, and currently Dr. V.M. Katoch, who is the former Director General of ICMR, is chairing this scientific body. Within the IPC, we have two sections. One is IPC Secretariat, that is responsible for the development of monographs, and laboratory activities are supported by IP Laboratory, which includes the verification and validation of monographs as well as the development of reference standards. Next one. IPC has several mandates. First one is the publication of Indian Pharmacopoeia, which includes the monograph standards of the drugs which are currently marketed in India. Second one is the development of reference standards, and these reference standards are used in the monographs to assess the quality of the medicines. We also publish the National Formulary of India, that is NFI, and IPC is also the National Coordination Center for the Pharmacovigilance Program of India, that is PVPI, which is a WHO recognized program. IPC also organizes several skill development programs and trainings for the stakeholders, including industry, regulators, analysts, and for students also. And the last one is the national and international collaborations. So we collaborate with the other organizations which have similar mandates. Next one. So Indian Pharmacopoeia, as all of us know, that it is a book of standards, drug standards, as per the provisions of this Drugs and Cosmetic Act. So the monographs which are prescribed in the IP, they are official in nature, and they are used by the stakeholders, including industry as well as by the regulators, to assess the quality of the drugs which are marketed in the country. Next one. So this is the monograph development process. So the process starts with the selection of the drugs for which there is a need to develop the monographs. So there is a specific criteria based on which IPC decides to develop the monograph, and we source the specifications for these monographs from the manufacturers, and based on their specifications we develop the draft monograph, which is published on IPC website for inviting public comments. And we also circulate these draft monographs to the stakeholders for their comments, and once we receive these comments, these comments are discussed in the expert working groups, and the final monograph is then approved by the scientific body before its publication in the IP. Next one. So this is the criteria for the inclusion and exclusion of monographs. So IPC usually prefers to include the drug monographs which are given in the national health programs, which are used in the national health programs of India, different programs, and the drugs which are included in the national list of essential medicine. And the drug must be approved by the CDSCO. We do not include any drug that has not been approved in India by the CDSCO. And if any other drug that is suggested by any expert or industry, they are also considered for the development of monographs. For exclusion, we usually exclusion is usually based on two criteria. That is, if the drug has been banned in India or it has become obsolete. That is, if it is not currently being in use. Next one. So these are different expert working groups of IP. So currently we have around 23 expert working groups which guide IPC on different classes of medicines. For biologicals, we have separate working groups like recombinant DNA products. There is a separate working group. For blood products, there is a separate working group. For vaccines also, we have a different working group. Next one. So this is the brief history of IP editions. So the first edition came in 1955, and last year on 1st of July, the 9th edition, that was IP 2022, was released. and it became official from the 1st of December 2022. Next one. So this is the basic structure of IP standards. Within the IP, you can find that each volume will have, initially it will have some blue pages. These are known as general notices. So the text that is given in the general notices, it is mandatory and it is applicable to all the pharmacopoeia texts. Then we have general chapters also. So there are, per se, these general chapters are not mandatory, but if these chapters are referred in any individual monograph, then they become the part of a standard. Then we have general monographs. So in the second volume of IP, you will get, initially there are general monographs which are given for various dosage forms like tablets, capsules, injections. And so the requirements of general monographs, they are mandatory to comply. Then we have specific monographs, which are product-specific monographs. So these monographs are developed based on the approved specifications. And any drug product that is marketed, it should comply with the specifications of these specific monographs throughout its shelf life. Then the next part is the reference standards. So the quality of any drug should be assessed based on the methods and specification given in the specific monographs, along with the use of these reference standards, and which can be sourced from the IPC. Next one. So this is the current status of the monographs. So currently we have 3,152 monographs in IP, and the last IP 2022 edition, it has included 92 new monographs, 12 new general chapters, and many of these monographs, they have also been revised. And within the IP monographs, we have different categories of monographs like formulations. There are around 1,200 formulations, then APIs, more than 900 APIs. And in the categories of biologicals, there are different, these products are categorized among different categories like vaccines, RDNA products, blood products, likewise. Next one. So IP reference standards and impurity standards, they are developed by the IPC laboratory, and they are available for sale and used by stakeholders. They can go through our website and they can order these standards. So IPRS, they are developed through a collaborative approach, and our laboratory, they are accredited by ISO 17025 as well as ISO 17034. And our laboratory is also accredited as per ISO 17043 for proficiency testing provider. So these standards are authoritative in nature, and they are used to assess the final quality of the product if there is a case of doubt or dispute. So currently there are 663 IPRS and 427 impurity standards. They are available from IPC, and you can you can see visit our website to order any of these standards. So among the different pharmacopoeias, we are on the third number. USP and European Pharmacopoeia, they have more number of standards, but we are the third one when it comes to the number of IPR reference standards that are available for any pharmacopoeia. There are other standards like vaccine standards. They are IPC actually authorized CDL Kasoli for supplying these NRS, National Reference Standards for vaccines. And we have also authorized IMTech Chandigarh, CSIR IMTech Chandigarh, for supplying the reference microbial cultures. Next one. With the help of the Ministry of Commerce and Ministry of External Affairs, we are proposing to different countries that the IP should be recognized by other countries also. So currently this is the status. Like currently IP has been recognized by 4 countries. First one was the Ghana in West Africa. Then Afghanistan was also has also recognized. And later on, Nepal and Mauritius, they have also recognized IP within their legislation in their pharmacy acts, along with the USP and BP. They recognize the IP standards. So, and we have MOUs with the British Pharmacopoeia as well as US Pharmacopoeia to collaborate on the processes of setting standards. IP has an observer status in the EDQM, so we participate in the meetings which are conducted by Pharmacopoeia, Pharma Europa. And recently, IP has also been inducted as a pilot member in the PDG. PDG is Pharmacopoeia Discussion Group. of 3 pharmacopoeias. One is the US Pharmacopoeia, then European Pharmacopoeia, and Japanese Pharmacopoeia. And the mandate is to harmonize the journal chapters and the excipient monographs within these pharmacopoeias. So this is a pilot project for next 1 year, and we are participating in this project. Next one. So these are different organizations with which we are collaborating. So various CSIR labs, they are helping us in developing the monographs in different categories of drugs. We participate. We have MOUs with the USP and BP. Next one. So these are the areas where IPC and stakeholders, they can collaborate. Industry stakeholders, they can share their specifications for the development of any new monograph, which they consider that it should be a part of IP. And they can also donate their candidate materials for the development of reference standards. And also we can collaborate for organizing any joint seminars, workshops, and trainings. Next one. So I would like to thank Ministry of Health, Family Welfare, CDSU and their labs, NIB, CSIR labs, and various pharma companies for helping us in the development of these standards. Next one. Thank you.